Oh shit, I ain't even see type shit. My bad, bro. I ain't even see type shit. My bad. Okay, what's up, y'all? It's another video. First things first. First thing I want to say today. I fuck with my plant. Oh, tough, right? Yo, I got this. So I bought it yesterday. Just treating myself. I just saw it at the stores with my sister, and we was out. And, I seen it at the store, and I bought it, and it was cool. His name's Chop. All right, that's not what this video's about, though. I'm sorry. This video is about is to say stop trying to be nonchalant. And when I say that, it kind of all boils down to stop trying to be something you're not and be yourself. I realize my most recent videos have all kind of been around this similar topic. They've all kind of stemmed, but it all boils down to stop trying to be something you're not. Stop trying to be something you're not. Soon I'm gonna probably move away from this topic, but it's just something that's so relevant to my life at the moment. I see it in everybody around me, or I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot of people around me. And when you're awake to it and when you're aware of it, it's so obvious. And it's like it's kind of a thing where like real people don't mix with fake people. You know what I mean? So when you have an understanding of who you are, and you see that fakeness in other people, it almost disgusts you. It puts you off so much. Which honestly I've been trying to control because I see it in people I care about in my life today, and I hate to see it. I hate to see it in them, but that's besides the point. The whole point is it's very prevalent in my life right now, so it feels like something that's relevant for me to talk about at the moment. First, let's talk about what I believe nonchalant is. I feel like a lot of people today, they want to be nonchalant, right? They want to be someone who doesn't care and who's so and so cool and all this. But I feel like people don't understand what it means to be that person, to be P. I don't want to use the word nonchalant because I don't know the exact definition. Maybe the exact definition of it is not caring, but I don't believe anybody wants that. I don't believe anybody just wants to not care about anything. That's not, unless you're a sociopath, that's not true. You can never truly say, oh, I don't care about anything. When that happens, that I feel no emotion. I don't believe anybody is seeking the lack of emotion. You know what I mean? It's simply the control of your emotions. When somebody does something to you that should make you angry, you should get angry. You shouldn't not care. No, but it's a balance. When someone makes you angry, you should make it known that they made you angry. You should not lash out, but if you feel the need to raise your voice, raise your voice. Don't punch them. Don't show a lack of control. If anything, a show of control of your emotions only what's the word? Only multiplies the effectiveness of your expression. If somebody does something and slights you, and you make it known that wasn't cool and you're not okay with that and you're angry, but you control it, you hold it in, you let it be known that that's not cool, but for your sake, I'm not. It explodes the effectiveness in the feeling that they're gonna have. It's 10 million times more effective controlling your emotions. And for the sake of being so this video, I'm gonna wear my glasses for this video. The lack of control of emotions is what people struggle with. And people don't want the lack of emotions. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that today, where that's what they think nonchalant or being P is. That's not what being P is. And simply becoming what they want is understanding that you have to control your emotions. You have to control them, not act like they're not there. Because the second you start acting, it has the opposite effect. No human on this planet can have no emotions. That's not a thing. So when you act like you don't care, it has the opposite effect. It always does. It always does. It always has the opposite effect. The more you act like you're not mad, the more mad you look. There's nothing wrong with when if somebody makes you angry being angry. It's the control. I know I'm harping on this, but it's the control. It's organized chaos. If somebody makes you sad, you're sad. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the acceptance of your emotions that shows your strength. And at the end of the day, wanting to be P and wanting to be nonchalant is all the thing where it comes down to strength and it shows confidence. At the end of the day, that's what that shows. Whenever something around you is going on and it doesn't affect you, and people can see that, it doesn't affect them. It's not the fact that it doesn't. If somebody slaps your wrist and it doesn't hurt, right, and you act like it doesn't hurt, nobody cares. If somebody slaps your wrist and it hurts like hell, and you sit there and you control yourself and you don't let it you don't go what the fuck, dude, that hurt. You be like come on, man. But you know it hurt. That shows strength. That's strength. Strength is control. Strength is precision and decisiveness. When you try to when somebody hits you and you're like, that didn't even hurt, you look lame. You know what I mean? When somebody does something to you, I don't even care. You just brush it off. Like that's not real. And everybody can tell that's not real. At the end of the day, it all comes from a lack of confidence. If you're not even comfortable enough to I don't know, maybe that's not what it comes from. I think it comes from a lack of power. It comes from a lack of feeling power over your life, and I don't know. It doesn't I realize that the further I start to understand things like this, and the more deep I get into it, the less stuff like that makes sense to me, because it has such an opposite effect of what you're trying to do versus doing the things I've said and being mindful and doing it is so obviously correct. This is a bit of a tangent, but it kind of goes into a lot of why I believe this. Why I believe what I say is true. My whole life I've kind of struggled with religion, and I've grown up Christian, and my whole life I've struggled with it. And it's just the gut feeling. It's just the gut feeling of it, just like it just doesn't fully make sense. And this is the first time in my life that I'm not religious. And to me, this is not a religion. It's just the way things work. Cuz there's no doctrine, there's no rules, there's no dogma, there's not even morals to this. It's just understanding how life works and how everything around you is all interplay and all connected, and how you affect everything around you. And it's something I've never been so sure of in my life. It's so weird to me. It's powerful. That being said, I still believe religion works for people who can feel like that in their religion. Does that make sense? That, to me, that's why it's so beautiful. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's simply understanding how. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter the method. It just boils down to doing it. Whether you believe in it or not, it's happening. That's why religion works. That's why praying works. That's a bit of a tangent. I'm sorry, but it just goes into why it's so deep to me, because it's true, and it's I'm so sure, and because I'm so sure, it's not an act. It's not fake. When I speak to this about my friends or speak to this about anybody, it's not an act. I'm telling the truth, and you know what? I can tell it has a greater effect because I'm speaking truthfully and from the heart and from what I actually believe. The thing that all these videos culminate and boil down into being is truth and belief and being genuine. Everything you want in life comes from that. Everything you want in life comes from you following that. that's all. I mean, that's really all I have to say for this video. I know I went on a bit of a tangent there at the end, but I feel like there's not much to say about the topic. Just stop. Be yourself. Stop trying to be nonchalant. Just be yourself. And as you be yourself and as you become comfortable with yourself and comfortable with your emotions and you understand yourself, that nonchalant feeling, that being that being cool naturally happens. It naturally happens. When you're always in a good mood, even when something annoying happens, you're good right after. It's so crazy. I see it in my own life. I see it in myself. I guarantee you, if you asked any of my friends, they would tell you I've changed for the positive recently. I don't want to get too in the nitty gritty, but even today, I was having a bit of an argument with some people, and I would say I damn near looked unfazed. I bet it was a bit unsettling. I was almost unfazed. Genuinely, I was, and it wasn't even like I wasn't involved. I was involved. I was fully. I said my point. When it got serious, I was serious as well. But right after, I was back to normal. It's insane. It really is insane. That's all I have to say for this video. I take back everything I just said. BP is fuck, and no, if you're not nonchalant, you're not right. So, peace.